And pro-Zuma protests happening across the country today. Let's see how crowds gathered at the Union buildings in Pretoria are digesting the latest news of the second ratings downgrade in just a week. Sipho Stirwan is our reporter on the ground there.
Good afternoon and to you and our viewers at home. Well, the march has now come to an end. Of course, the permission that they were given was between 11 and 4 p.m. So the organizers, of course, had to stick to the times that they were given. And I must say it was largely a peaceful march, and there was never any clashes with the police as we normally see when marches come here at the Union building. But to talk more about how the day went, let's talk to the organizers himself. We've got Mark Haywood here. Sir, you had thousands of people gathering here. Of course, as part of your message for the president to step down. Just talk to us about how you as the organizers felt the day went.
We think the day has been a success. It's been an important day because ordinary South Africans have stood up, have marched in very large numbers, tens of thousands of people, with a clear set of messages. The first message is that Jacob Zuma must resign as the president of this country. But they've also made it clear as South Africans that they stand for a South Africa which is against corruption, which is for accountable government. They've made it clear they stand for a South Africa which wants to fix the poverty and the inequalities that exist in this country. This is a great first step today, but we have to continue with these struggles.
All right, and just you say you have to continue with these struggles, and what happens from here? That's what everyone wants to know. You had a great showing here, and I think you've created a sort of a lot of awareness over the issues, but what happens from here?
Well, from here we will go straight and we will meet with the parties who have been here, not just political parties, but churches and trade unions and citizen organizations and businesses and community groups. And we will sit down and we will say, okay, today was a success, but what must we do to take this forward? In fact, that has been a question that many, many people have come and asked me. What next? How can we make sure that this power of the people does not go to sleep again, but is awake and is ready to retake our country for democracy? All
right, but the main message is that it doesn't end here. You will find a way forward. Thank you, Mark Haywood. I do have the SACP Deputy Secretary General here, Solima Pilot. Say, we understand that you were also supposed to have your own march today to the Treasury, but you cancelled that and you decided to join this march. Talk to us about joining this march.
Yeah, it was important that we joined this march, particularly after the behavior of the officials and the ministry in the Treasury who rejected to accept our memorandum, leading to it creating the perception that it's an unauthorized memorandum. In fact, it's important to clarify that the right to assemble, the right of association in this country, it's in the Constitution, it's legalized, part and parcel of the fundamentals of our freedoms in South Africa, and therefore that must always be attained. So we joined this march to continue to make the important call that the president must step down. He has donated this country to the Guptas. It's no longer led accordingly through the African National Congress, as demonstrated last week when he made changes in government without the officials of the ANC being aware about that. The decision now to come back and try and apologize from the NWC in the manner that they handled this thing, the way they said happened, it's an irrelevant issue. The issue is that the NWC should have taken stand action against a comrade who has demonstrated that the collectives no longer matters, but he alone, his family and the Guptas and associated people are the ones that are actually taking decisions.
All right. Well, I mean, it's quite monumental that you're coming out as ACCP calling for the president of the ANC in the country to step down. Does this mean that perhaps the ACCP is losing influence within the ANC to have been able to sort of speak to other comrades internally to say, let's change leadership?
No, it's not about that. We've been raising these problems for quite some time. I think that when people get arrogant with power, that's how they demonstrate that arrogance. They don't listen to their own political party. At issue here is that the ANC itself is no longer in charge. It's a faction that is in charge, and that faction cannot continue to dominate and continue to do wrong things, and the people of South Africa keep quiet about it. And when it affects all South Africans, as in governance, therefore the people of South Africa can rise up, and that's what we have seen here today. Good demonstration here and across parts of the country, in Cape Town, in Durban, in Mpumalanga and other parts of the country. The people have come out to reject a deepening rot that is setting in within government, particularly in state-owned enterprises, which have been used as a piggy bank for the Guptas, and that must come to an end.
All right, and just very lastly, the press conference that you sent last night announcing the cancellation of your march said that you will hold it at a later stage. Are you still planning to have that march to the Treasury at a later stage?
We are having a meeting tomorrow morning to take forward this broader campaign, not just our march, but the broader campaign to stop corruption, the broader campaign to make sure that President Zuma steps down and we can have an ANC leadership that is clear, that is accountable to the people and not accountable to the Guptas, that can then take charge and continue to lead society. And therefore, that campaign will continue in the coming months until the president has stepped down.
All right, well, thank you very much. That is Solomon Mapele from the SACP telling us that it does not end here. We also heard from Mark Haywood representing Safe SA, which organized the march here to the Union buildings, also saying that they will chart a way forward. So the basic message is that while there was a great showing today and they sent out a strong message that they want the president to stand down, and they will not stop here. They will plan and continue with the campaign, calling for the president to step down. It's now back to you in studio.